Late at night in Queens, the city that rarely sleeps finally does, or at least it seems to. Peter Parker, in his red and blue suit, moves silently across rooftops adorned with graffiti and buzzing neon signs. His webs dangle behind him as he approaches a dimly lit alley, a shortcut home. Tonight, something is off. No distant wail of sirens, no hum of traffic, no stray cats scrabbling, just dead silence. Peter's spider sense prickles, like static dancing behind his skull. He halts under a lone street lamp that flickers 3 times before going out in a final, trembling wink. In that charged darkness, he sees it. A second spider web, jet black, viciously spun between fire escapes. It's massive, pulsing slightly as if alive. He reaches out. His finger grazes the silk, cold, velvety, impossible. The moment he touches, a whisper slithers into his mind. Peter, remember us. No mouth moves, yet the thought is clear. His heart twists. God, he whispers, stepping back. He shakes his head, eyes darting up and down the alley. His mask clings to his face as if drawn nearer by dread. He scans the darkness with flashlight eyes. Shining webs ignite in his palms, but nothing emerges. Just the oppressive hush returning. He boat-slash-webs to the nearest pole. As he swings away, he pauses. One last look. The empty alley seems to watch him leave. Determined to dig deeper, Peter visits the abandoned Crown Textile Factory on the edge of Harlem, a colossal, derelict building marked off limits years ago, after a mysterious fire consumed half the structure. Locals speak of a dozen victims, all employees never found. No cause, no arrests, just rumor. Inside, darkness awaits, spider sense shorts as webs painted on the walls glow faintly. Long-forgotten machines stand like silent sentinels. He sweeps a flashlight beam over charred beams and a broken catwalk. A scrap of newspaper reveals, factory fire, 12 missing. The date, July 12, 1998, makes his chest tighten. As he pushes deeper, soft thumps echo. Boards creak, a door slams somewhere above. He swings upward, landing 10 feet above the floor. From the shadows, silky strands drape across columns, shimmering black in his light. He tests tension, comes back taut. A whisper again. You should have stayed away. He drops webs to flank the passage. But shadowy figures emerge, limbs thin, faces obscured, stitched with silk. They move silently, orbiting him. He fires webs, they pass through. They strike nothing. He lands, disgorging sand and soot from his lungs. This is no ordinary foe. It's a collective nightmare. They reach for his face. He fights, disarming one. Beneath the mask, a grotesque visage, sunken eyes, blackened teeth, an obsidian web tattooed on its cheek. It gasps. You owe. For them, he dodges, blade of his will flaring. Until I don't, they'll never rest. They vanish. Into walls, into webs, into memory. Echoes of their presence remain. Puppeted machines rattle. A banner ignites. Remember. He staggers out. Dawn breaks. The factory exhales smoke. But no reason, no justice, yet. The night of the full moon sees Peter perched atop a gleaming skyscraper, overlooking Manhattan. The city's lights flicker like distant stars, yet carry an unnatural hush. He scans the streets below, but tonight, they seem emptier, more echo than life. Turning around, he sees it. The rooftop window, once shattered and boarded, now pristine. A mirror stands tall, framed in ancient steel. In its reflection, he does not see the city, but himself, or so he thinks. In the mirror, his reflection shifts. A spider-shaped silhouette expands behind him. His eyes glow but hollow, black pits unmoving. His reflection smiles, and its lips crack, revealing too many teeth. He steps forward. The mirror's surface ripples like liquid obsidian. He reaches out. His hand sinks inside. The surface vibrates, pulling him in. Suddenly he's inside, a warped, mirrored world. Alternate Manhattan, streets paved in glass-like web, skyscrapers bent inward. His echoed doppelganger emerges, complete with an unholy set of 8 arms and flowing spider silk as cape. It speaks, Welcome, Peter. We have unfinished business. They fight amid distorted reflections. Every punch, every web sent ricochets into countless mirror duplicates. His clone strikes hard, nearly drowning him in a flood of obsidian silk. But Peter pulls himself free, launching a punch that cracks a skyscraper's mirrored wall. Glass showers. The clone snarls and vanishes into the cracks, leaving only one strand of black silk drifting downward, caught by the breeze. Peter stands amid fractured reflections, but he knows the mirror world has marked him. Peter retreats to Dr. Connor's old lab, shuttered, abandoned, and filled with medical remnants. He hopes he can analyze that black strand, but inside the atmosphere is thick with dread. He steps over shattered glass, lab tables stocked with abandoned vials. He places the strand on a microscope stage and adjusts the optics. Sweat beads on his brow. The strand unravels under the lens, revealing a spider genome entwined with foreign obsidian fiber. Its structure is wrong, twisted, mutated. Before he can record data, shadows detach from the walls. Test tubes shatter, strings of silk-bind machines, spinning them like puppets. The weaver's voice echoes through broken speakers. You unsealed it. Now witness its birth. From an infrasound speaker, a low hum vibrates the room. Peter fires web and smashes a monitor. A silent scream echoes. He sees the mutated spider strain, enormous, disembodied legs made of silk emerging from the darkness, crawling between desks, each foot dripping black ooze. He and Connors retreat to the generator room. The door slams behind them. Lights flicker. Peter disconnects a power cable to stall the lab's automation, but the machines begin to move autonomously, clawing across floors. Corridors close with rolling shutters. They're trapped. Connors whispers urgently, "We have to destroy the strand. It's too sentient." Peter grabs a Bunsen burner. He lights a flame, scorches the strand. It recoils violently, spitting obsidian gleam. But in the lab's reflection, he sees something else. The shadowy figure weaving more strands in synthetic veins. Power returns. Doors snap open. Machines still twitch. But the strand is gone, melted. Peter and Connors collapse against a wall. Peter, it wasn't just a mutation, it was awareness. Connors, we awakened it. Now we must stop it. Peter follows the last clue, a location scrawled at the edge of the burnt web sample. A crumbling Gothic chapel in Brooklyn, long abandoned. Midnight, thunderclouds crawl across the sky as he stands before the decrepit building. The heavy doors creak open. Inside, darkness breathes like a sleeping beast. Spiderwebs lace the pews and rafters, glittering with moisture. At the altar, a cocoon pulses faintly. Peter steps forward. The moment his boot touches the center aisle, the chapel awakens. Candles ignite by themselves, flickering blue. The pulsing cocoon unfolds like a flower, revealing a monk-like figure wrapped in layered silks, face hidden behind a mask of porcelain carved with spider sigils. His voice hisses like silk tearing. You came, spider of flesh, you are the final vessel. A trap springs, webs launch from the walls, barbed alive. Peter dodges, flips, lands on the pulpit, but the walls seem to breathe, expanding, pulling him inward. He fires web shots, grabs onto the chandelier and swings across, but one thread catches his ankle. He's dragged. The monk hovers forward, speaking of a prophecy. The eighth thread has returned, the forbidden weaver reborn in Peter. Peter explodes a web bomb, collapsing the pulpit and forcing his escape. But as he leaps through a stained glass window, he hears voices chanting, 8 threads, 1 vessel. 8 threads, 1 soul. Injured but alive, Peter crawls through the sewer tunnels beneath the chapel. The air here is thick with mildew and whispers. Walls pulse faintly with organic webbing, almost like veins. He stumbles into a vast underground chamber. At its center, a black dome of silk. Dozens of spider totems carved into bone circle the structure. It's a nest, massive, ancient. Inside, a dying man, Ezekiel. Once a mentor, now a prisoner. Peter, you're not the first. They chose others before you, Ezekiel whispers. But you're the only one strong enough to resist. Ezekiel reveals he once embraced the weavers, but now they feed on him, draining his essence. His veins bulge with black silk. Burn the core, stop the hive. Suddenly, the dome shivers. Dozens of hybrid spider creatures descend. Peter shields Ezekiel, engaging in brutal combat, spinning high-speed webs, swinging columns into beasts. He buys time. Ezekiel lights a final fuse and hands Peter a detonator. Go! Peter runs. Behind him, fire consumes the dome. But something survives. A giant leg erupts from the fire. Rain falls. The city sleeps. Peter walks alone atop the Brooklyn Bridge. He speaks to no one. But every raindrop feels like a whisper. Then from the mist the monk reappears, hovering above the cables, now with multiple arms spinning silk in midair. You survived the test, but the tapestry is not done. Others will come. The threads are not only yours. Peter grips the bridge wire. He looks out at the city and beyond it, darkness rolls like waves. As the monk vanishes, a final strand of glowing silk floats down. It lands in Peter's hand. He knows, this isn't over. The web is still growing. Cut to black. 2 days have passed since Peter received the glowing silk. Something is shifting. The air in New York tastes different. Metallic, humming. Reflections in windows begin to lag behind. People report phantom selves following them. MJ calls Peter in a panic. Her reflection in the bathroom turned and smiled on its own. Peter rushes over. Her apartment is empty, mirror cracked. Only a faint web trail remains, glowing dimly. He follows it. The trail leads him through forgotten tunnels beneath Grand Central, where an ancient rift pulses, a tear between the real world and the mirror web. Inside, reality warps. Shapes walk backward, walls stretch. Peter steps through the veil. In the mirror world, everything is inverted and shimmering. Buildings made of webbing, people frozen in loops. He finds MJ trapped inside a crystal cocoon, her eyes still moving. Around her, versions of Peter crawl on ceilings, echoes from lost timelines. Suddenly, a new figure arrives, a monstrous spider being. Half Peter, half something far older, steps from the web throne. You left us here, it hisses. You tore the web to be human. But we remember. We remember you. The hive mind of abandoned spider-selves has returned. War erupts. Peter battles the hive mind across the mirror city, swinging through twisted towers of silk, dodging alternate selves with venomous intent. They whisper his fears as they attack. You failed Uncle Ben. You let Gwen fall. You're not enough. You never were. Peter resists, not with rage, but with memory. He remembers love, sacrifice, and hope. One by one, the mirror selves falter. But the hive mind's core, the ancient spider being, absorbs them, growing monstrous. Peter finds the anchor thread, a glowing root tethered to earth. If he severs it, the hive mind will collapse. But so will the connection to MJ, still trapped in a cocoon. He hesitates. One thread must die for the rest to live. Choose, Spider. Peter makes his choice. He launches himself upward, spins a counter thread, a pure web of choice, sacrifice, love. It begins to overwrite the mirror web. The hive mind screeches, unraveling. Peter cuts the anchor thread with one final strike, and at the same time, pulls MJ from her cocoon. The collapse begins, reality shatters. Peter and MJ are tossed between fragments of mirrors, time bending around them. In one shard, Peter sees Gwen smiling. In another, Aunt May waving goodbye. They fall through a final web gate. Peter wakes up in his apartment. The sun is rising. The city is quiet. No ripples in the mirror. MJ lies beside him, breathing. The spider symbol on his chest has changed, now glowing with strands of silk interwoven in a circle. He's still Spider-Man, but something's different. The web didn't just test him, it rewrote him. Outside, children play, birds fly. For now, the city is safe. But in the last frame, on the underside of a fire escape, a glowing strand twitches, still alive.